And we're going to do a little pluck in, and today we just going to change over the light cycle, maybe take some cuts. What's up, Scooter? And there's Cooter down there. I see you, buddy. Cooter. We think they're going to get fed again. Y'all already eaten. Yeah. What's up, everybody? I'm just going to be messing around in here. We're going to be changing the lights over. We're going to take some cuts from some of these and maybe get them in some pots, maybe, or just at least get them ready. Yeah, flip day. Today is flip day. We're going to change the Grandmasters. To be honest with you, I just took a video of it so I could post it on my Instagram, but we're going to be doing it. It's pretty simple. Just go to the timer there, and then you just come over here to that, and then you just come down here, and that was on, whatever it was, 23, yeah, 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. So now it's 5 to 5, so it'll be 17. So you just go in there and hit 17, boop, hit check mark, and you're done. But we're also going to add some red in. Going to add some far red. This is far red channel, and this is a deep red channel. So you're going to have to excuse me because I just took a freaking bong hit. I need to get something to drink. It's Sunday. Let me set this tripod up so I can go get something to eat there. And I can stare at that for a second. The plants and veg are looking really good. I mean, I'm actually quite pleased with it. Everything in the garden looks super healthy. Just bushed out like crazy, and we have purposely been keeping that red out of these Grandmasters to keep these plants as short as possible. But we've had the environment in here dialed in, and everything just took off. Zoom out a little bit there. There we go. Check out the Monstera. Thing is freaking. Definitely gonna have to take cuts off of this thing. This is gonna outgrow the room. This one over here. That's the biggest damn Monstera leaf I've ever seen. Over here. And there's another one behind that one. And then the new one is busting out. That's the newest. Yeah, she's lush. Everything in here is. I mean, this Monstera loves being in this terrestrial side. Whoops. Loves being in this terrestrial site. You can see the roots just busting out. All these are brand new. And then we've got the roots also dangling down into the pond, which run all through the pond, all around back behind there. So it's loving life there for sure. And it doesn't even have any light over it. So it's reaching, so it's growing towards these Grand Masters. So I purposely left no light over the pond because we have the UVA and B, we have the heat lamp for the pond, but then it gets indirect light. I don't want direct, light blasting all the time over top of my pond. That's reserved for the creek, for the algae, and that's why we have the algae. A lot of people want me to get rid of the algae, but the algae is on purpose. It really helps clean the water. I'm gonna take this thing. Well, actually, I don't have to take this out. I can just close it up and show you. There it goes. So, what I've been doing is taking this algae and pulling it out. And all this algae is trapping that nitrogen or that nitrate and all that fish waste, shrimp shells. I get a lot of shrimp shells. Basically, they're molting, getting rid of their shells, getting new ones. But this here is gold. This is photosynthetic. It's photosynthesizing, so it actually can convert the light in here into oxygen. Basically, it pumps. You can see it. See those bubbles? All those bubbles along the edge. When those pop, that's oxygen. And guess what our soil needs? It needs oxygen. Chlorophyll and all the other all the other shit that goes along with it. Scientific stuff. It's super interesting. Once you get it under a microscope and see that this stuff glows in the dark, it literally is food for our microorganisms, and they in turn love it, which in turn release the nutrients that are in the creek into our soil, and where the plants can then uptake it, and grass grows because the oxygen that's being created, the dissolved oxygen that's being pulled and wicked up into the soil pocket, all the way up into the soil. The plants can access it, and it's freaking on from there. What's up, everybody? Yeah, they produce it produces that. It also catches it too. So the shit that's being flowed out, because there is no filter box, so to speak. Like in an aquarium, you have a filter pad. Well, the filter pads are, let's see, I got one over here. These things. I set these in the creek. These are just nitrate pads, and they'll catch the poo, and see the worms will get up in there and turn all that poo. All those are worm castings. And all those will just drop off into the soil over there, and worms will come up, turn everything, and then I'll just take this and put it back in the creek and just set it back over top of that algae there that I just pulled out, and then cover up this algae here, cover up your soil, and all that will get broken down. And the longer this goes, you got to just be patient. Like, this is a patience game. This isn't this thing has been going for a year and 5 months now. Going on a year and 5 months. So it's not even a year and a half old yet. It's happened a lot faster because of the creek water, and the pond water now is starting to cycle. So everything is starting to cycle now, and yeah, everything is starting to become available. So if I can keep the environment dialed in here, we'll we'll be good to go. Once these elephant ears will just, I mean, these things are going to get crazy. We definitely have to, and these serve a huge purpose. These are so valuable, I'm telling you, just because they're photosynthesizing so much energy into the soil. They're pushing exudates into the soil. I have them everywhere. They just grow everywhere. Look, they're down in my sub-hole down here. So where there was water down there, now that the plants are so big, all that water is dried up. Oops. All that water is dried up. And I won't see water down there until we cut these plants. And once we cut the plants, it will, all that extra water will just drop back down into our E horizon. What's up, everybody? What's up, Galaxy? Nighthawk, everybody, what's going on? T3, John, Chris. Sorry I wasn't paying attention to the chat. I get sidetracked. Big Germ, what's up, man? Good quality. What's up, everybody? The cannabis. This is Luna Whitcomb's lunar cheese. This is her lunar. This is one of her lunar cheeses. This is her raspberry deadhead over here. 2 raspberry deadheads. This is another lunar cheese. This is OK Calix's Orangeline. Really has taken off, actually. It started off weak. It was one of the weak. Actually, it was the strongest of like 6 seeds, I think I popped. And it was the strongest one. Really didn't have good luck with that. Yeah, Luna stuff is awesome. I mean, I have not. That's another, this one over here. I'm getting ready to show you. This is another herb. This is the dominant plant in the room right now, and this is soil pocket number 3. So that has. So we have soil pocket number 1, soil pocket number 2, soil pocket number 3, soil pocket number 4. So the center is number 4, and we sent off samples, soil samples, to our boy Mo at I Grow Soil. You gotta check his site out, his channel out, I Grow Soil, IGROW. No, it's IGRO. Sorry, no W. Soil. And this soil pocket, he sent me some pictures today and some badass stuff. we got some crazy life going on in there. I mean, we had nematodes out the ass. We had well, all the kind of stuff we want to see, basically. The soil food web is alive and well. You can see our ivy is almost reaching the creek. There it is. So we'll definitely have to pluck off some of these. Yes, we just flipped the flower. Yeah, I just flipped it a few minutes ago. I hadn't even posted it on Instagram. I took a video. I haven't posted it yet. But yeah, but we're also going to add some red. That's what I was going to do. I get sidetracked, so I'm going to add some red into this jewel. So you can see I'm only pushing 245 watts of power right now. I'm at 27%. I'm only at 100% of my cool white and 50% of warm white. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower my cool white down into the like 50 range. I'm going to lower my warm down to about 25. I'm going to put some red in around 10. And I'm going to leave the deep red out for now. Actually, I'm probably do 75 on let me show you how easy it is. Just, so we're going to go, let's go 75. 75, 50, and then we can add like 25 on the red. Let's see what that does. And what we're going to have to do is dial it in. So this is probably going to turn the lights off at first. Yep. And then we're going to bump it up. All right, we got to be around 42. We're going to be at 40%. Anything below 40%, the lights are cut off. So we're at 326 watts of power now. Now I might have to add some white or lower the red, or lower the far red. But you can see that the red came out on the center. Let's see here. So let me read some comments. Nice. Yeah, the ability to change the light spectrum is huge for me and here in this kind of setup. I got to be able to adjust that red. That red is huge because that's what going to give us that stretch. You know, I don't even know if I should be, yeah, I'm in a garage. I don't even know if I should be, you know, that high on the 25 on that red. I probably should go bump it down to 15, but we'll just play it by sight, really. But we will see a stretch. I'll see a difference. It might be hard to see on camera, but I come in here every day. I'm in here all day, and especially right now because I just want to keep the CO2 up in here. So with me being in here and me talking, raises the CO2 up. And if I'm in here for, this is the kind of stuff I like to track actually on the pulse meter here. So actually this is usually supposed to be down here. So I'll leave it down here. I just raised it up to get it out of my way for a minute. But I'll be in here and I'll just, you know, walk around in here, sit in here and breathe, basically. Been working on this thing here. So we were going to stack some rocks today, but I also wanted to take some cuts. I wanted to show you guys how I was going to take some cuts real quick. And I got to go back here and get my scissors. And I gotta get my, find my, oh, there we are, back here. Scissors. Alright, then I was going to, y'all got a hidden, y'all didn't know y'all had this hidden back here, did you? Y'all hadn't seen that, did you? Y'all missed the aloe. Aloe's been doing lovely back here and back in the cut. You know, the aloe plant don't like a lot of light. I even got one in the actual ground up here. But these have been doing great. So what I'm going to do is take a leaf That'll be alright. And I'm not set up for this, but you're going to get the drift. I just have you know what? Y'all have to excuse me if I'm not paying attention to chat. That's why I'm walking around here like my chicken with his head cut off. I'll get one of these jars here. Not that one. Yeah, this one. Then we've got this back here. This is biochar. This right here, activated biochar that Virginia Rooted sent us. And it's made with hemp. I'm getting a phone call. Can't answer right now though. Hemp biochar. But all kinds of shit going on outside right now. I'm not sure what. So I better go look. I hope Johnny didn't get out. It's raining outside. So I'm gonna leave you right here just for a second. I'll be right back. All right, no big deal. No big deal. All right, I think we got some of the stuff. A little chicken in our house. Chicken shit. Hey, that would have been good stuff, man. Chicken shit's good stuff. It's just a little hot. I want to compost it first, let it sit for a little while. Alright, what I did was I went and got me a bucket. And I got these cow pots here. And I got some rainwater. Oh yeah, I want to take my aloe out. Set that over here. I need to soak my pot, so this is just rainwater. Just want a little bit. Good thing it rained last night, and it's been warm. It's been like 80 degrees, so it was nice. Rainwater's nice and warm. These are nice little cow pots. So, set those there. Those are nice. Yeah, they're nice and soft. Just gonna fill those up a little bit. Let those sit for a minute. Now, what do I need to do? Oh yeah, I need to put shit in those. What should I do? Let me get rid of it. Watch this. I'm gonna take this water right here. Pour it in here. It needed to be watered anyway. So before I ever put any soil in here, we'll soak this floor down. I mean, we'll just take a water hose to it and fill it up. And that'll be a full E horizon. So that's where the water will go down and sit. You can see where it kind of pushed down on that clay right there a little bit. So we'll get that to push down on top of that. That will create this barrier, this seal on top of this. But it's not really a seal for water, it's a seal for soil. So it's that layer, it's that first or last layer of your A horizon, or your top layer of your E horizon is that clay. So what the soil sits on top of is your clay. So if you were to stick a shovel down in the ground, you're going to get organic matter, brown topsoil, and however much topsoil you have. Most people don't have much. And then most people around my area that I live in here, I get a clay layer. I get all different colors. I'll get yellow and reds, mostly that color of a goldish red. And that's what I'm mimicking. So I'm mimicking that layer there. And that layer is extremely important when it comes to your roots, because you got to remember each one of these layers is a different biological system that has different microorganisms, different, everything is in layers. So you've got to really picture the layers on your soil. And once you realize that these layers, even on a microscopic level, it's in layers. So each layer you go deeper and deeper and deeper. Each thing you see is different. Everything is different. Things change. Different minerals and different nutrients are being broken down by different types of biology. This is why these elephant ears are trees. This is why this is here. This is a tree. This is an evergreen, really evergreen tree. It doesn't care if the light's 18 hours. Of course, it grows a lot bigger and faster in 18 hours. But when we flip to 12 hours, it doesn't really care. It'll just keep growing. You know, the healthier it is, the faster it'll grow. The more light it gets, the faster it'll grow. But the exudates down here in the root zone for this tree here is totally different than the cannabis or anything else, like this grass here that roots in, like this creek grass. I forget the scientific name of it. I just call it the viney creek grass, because it starts off in the creeks, it starts off its root system in the creek, and then it grows out and covers the rock formation. And it doesn't need any light. It'll just keep growing till it covers the whole rock wall. This whole wall eventually will be covered in all that. It'll stretch itself over here and it'll cover all this. Everything eventually will be covered in all of this creek wiregrass. And you can see that it'll just keep going. We've got the elephant ear down in the in the E horizon. So those roots are down in the clay, down in the sand. It's down in that layer. So normally this would be a swamp. Normally things wouldn't grow down there. You know what I mean? But we have aeration. We have aeration through the creek system. So the creek water has oxygen in it. Hence the algae that we were talking about earlier, the oxygenated, the dissolved oxygen that's being created down in the root zone by the roots, by the exudates, by the living biology that's down there. It's a crazy system, but once it dials itself in, it's I don't have to do anything. Like, all I have to do is top off with my IMO5, maybe do a foliar feed here and there, some FAA, and it's game on. It's done. I don't have to do anything. It's all about environment then, dialing in the lights. Like, get the lights right, get your PPFD right, get your DHL or DLI right. All that shit matters. This pulse meter is great. This is a Pulse Pro. You can save 10%. I don't really advocate, I don't push that much, but I'm not here to sell anything. You can save 10% on the Grandmasters too if you use my code Yellow Skunk. But, I use the Grandmasters because Thomas, I've talked to him multiple times on the phone. He'll actually call me, ask me how I'm doing and shit, you know what I mean? So it's kind of tough to beat that. And have like some of the best fucking lights on the market. It's fucking pretty good. So trying to just get these. But what was I gotta do now? Oh yeah, I gotta fill these up. So yeah. We're using some APSU for these. We got some APSU super soil back here, given to us by Dennis over at APSU. Super cool dude. And this is my first time using it, but I did, me, I had to send it off to get it. I sent it to my boy Mo down at Agro Soil, and he gave it a big 2 thumbs up, so it was good enough for me. Saw everything I needed to see. These bags have been sitting here for months, and I can already tell you it's still wet in there. It's still moist. Don't laugh at my little knife. It's all I'm allowed to bring into some places that I work at. Can't be bigger than 3 inches. Shit, no. Trust me, I'd have a fucking Rambo one if I could. Very nice, man. Very nice. Trying to do this not get too fucking dirty. It's kind of impossible sometimes. It's rough, yeah. don't even know how many cuts I'm gonna take, but that's how many cow pots I had, so I guess that's how many cuts we'll take. One thing I like about this soil is it's no perlite. Let me show you what's in it. So this stuff has got, here's the nitrogen analysis and all that stuff, which is good, but the organic material in it is mountain grape, organic worm castings, organic Canadian peat, organic vermiculite, bone meal, blood meal, kelp meal, neem meal, seabird guano, biochar, oyster shell phosphate, lignite, azomite, dolomite, diatomaceous earth. Everything a good girl needs. Alright. Guess we're gonna make a couple of trips. Like I said, I was not prepared for this, but we're gonna make it happen. Put a couple of them down there real quick. Y'all haven't seen this. This is where we're going to bring in the water at. So the pump's going to be down there. It's going to pump water up. Well, I can't show you that right now, but it'll come up through here, come through that hole right there. It'll come, this rock here is above that hole down there below it. So it's going to shoot water up and come up through here, go around in that tunnel there, come back, and going to split here. Some of it's going to come this way and bounce off of here. Some of it's going to come down below where it came in at, and come down into this, down into here, then into this hole where it'll swash around and come out underneath these rocks here. So it'll be coming from here, here, and down from underneath here, and then flowing down. We're going to make a couple of drop points through here. So we're going to have a lot of speed coming down through here. And right when it gets to right here, it's going to hit a split, kind of almost like a rock, and it's going to split that water around that rock, creating another swirl coming up. We're going to place a rock right in here where it'll hit, swirl around, coming on in, slowing it down back into the pond. So yeah, what are those over here for? Oh yeah, fucking pots. Don't forget the pot. Watch this shit show right here. I'm gonna do all four of them. Fuck it. Y'all don't get that. Y'all don't get that pleasure. Don't drop that shit out of the floor. The keys? No, hold on. Wife needs keys. I think I have them in the pot. Yeah. Not bad. I had my wife's car keys in my pocket. That must have been what that noise was. I heard her coming in and out of the house looking for her keys. Oops. Oh shit. It's that damn stick I'm holding this fucking shit up. Alright, turns out we don't need that other. I think we got a good setup going here. Yeah, look at that. Okay. We got some cuts I want to take. So, some of y'all know what the aloe is for, I guess. It's a simple little rooting agent, really. One of the best on the planet, probably. If you didn't know, now you know. It's really the only thing I've ever done to get a root. Or if I've done anything at all. Most of the time I don't do anything but take the cut and stick it down in the soil. If it roots, you got a strong plant. If it don't, it wasn't meant to be anyway. So, there were a couple of these orange leaves. We're going to do 2 of these orange leaves first. Just because I know these are the ones that I'm probably going to give away to a buddy of mine who I told I would give. So, come down here, go as close as I can. All I'm going to do is snip the ends a little bit, kind of give it a little scraping. Yep. Then I'm going to take it, I'm going to shove it down into this piece of aloe. Yeah. Gooey. Gooey, gooey, gooey. Run that aloe all the way up that line there. Voila. That's simple. Then we take that and hi-ya it into the soil. Yeah. Easy peasy. I'm getting no ideas now. Take it easy. A little rough. Gotta be a little rough with it, you know? Let's get a new hole going. Sorry, babe. Just gonna go into a different hole. Yeah. Uh-huh. Looks good. Going down to this one here. Just gotta make sure we don't forget which ones are which. So I got video proof that we got boom boom, but if I turn it this way, which one is it? Now we'll look at Don't forget. Okay, then there were, that's 2 down. I think we're going to definitely take a couple off a big girl over there for show. For show. I already know, I can tell the difference between her and Angeline. Like soldier flies. I'm gonna set this camera up a little higher over here. Alright. One down here that I definitely wanted to get on the bottom. Up a little bit, give her a little hello. Try not to break her. Trying to get as much in there as I can now. Let her soak in a little bit, but it's good. Go down into the... Alright, y'all paying attention? Angeline, raspberry. Alright, another one down here, one bit. Rough her up a little bit. Gotta get it nice and juicy, you know what I mean? Like I said, don't get no ideas. So. Alright, put this one right beside this one down here. Yeah. Alright. We got 2 and 2. We got 2 more. So I think the other 2 are coming from that middle plant over there. It's that one. Definitely has a nice little funk going on. Let me see if this will go over here. Let the camera work get you busy either. Man, let the fucking busy. Appreciate it. Thank you, Packer. Packer fan? Fuck yeah, I'm a Packer fan too, brother. Welcome. '97. That's Brett Favre. That's Brett Favre territory. That's my boy. Whole reason I'm a Packer fan. This one's got something. Look at that cut. That's cut. That thing was pushing out like crazy. Whoops, let me get back up here. There. Now, where did I leave the aloe? God damn it, I left it. Y'all didn't remind me to get the fucking aloe? Alright. Go Pat, go baby. Brett Favre for life. Reggie White for life. Alright, look at that. Going down in the bucket. Alright, so we already know this one's the center. This is number 4. Let's call that number 4. And also Orangeline. This is number 3, number 4. And we're going to take one more. Here. This one is number 4, number 2. Call that 4-2, 4-2-D2. This is actually raspberry deadhead. So this is the raspberry deadhead number 4. And that's all we got. So what I'm gonna do. Oops. Right now, since it's raining outside, or it was, it's a little cooler out here though. It's gonna be cold tonight though. They'd be better off inside today. We'll leave them inside. It's supposed to be like 62 tomorrow, but then 80 the next day. So I think we'll stay in here. We'll just raise them up. Let's see what we can do. Utilize the extra heater. Some more light. Yeah, there we go. Nice. That's all we need. That's all we need. What's going on, stoner dude? Just fucking around in the garden, taking a few cuts off of these. We just flipped to flower today. I just changed the lights over. We added a little bit of red to the spectrum up here on the Grandmasters. So we got some red added in. Not the deep red, but the far red. So we'll add deep red in about week probably 3 or 4. And Yeah, we'll go from there. I was trying to keep the stretch down. We definitely kept the stretch down. So you can see that we still got plenty of room to play with during the stretch. But they will reach the light, I promise. In the next 3 weeks, they're gonna fucking take off. They really set in now. It's day 33. So it's been 33 days since I transplanted into here. So add another, I think it was 12 days for them to get up to about that big, into the seed, into the cow pots. So start them off the same way I did here. Start them off in cow pots with by seed, let them come on up, get about that tall, transplant them in. Just all I gotta do is rip the bottom off of those cow pots and then put them in here. Once they root in, set in, we rip the cow pot off, pile some IMO5 up, and go from there. They just root themselves in and we're off to the races. It's been 33 days since we did that. And they are beautiful. Look at that. How big are they? Got me this new stick, so I can reach around and show different aspects of the grow now. I got to get me a microphone because I realize you can't hear me very well, but I don't need to fucking talk anyway. See my gnome golfer buddy. Yeah, this run's definitely better off than the last. It's definitely dialed itself in. The soil and the living biology is really starting to dial itself in and take off, really. As long as the environment stays right and we can maintain the food, just keep the creek clean or flowing properly, I guess is what I should say. This extra aloe is just going to go into my soil here. I'm going to squeeze it around some of my plants here. A little bit there. Get a little bit over here. Chop these up. These are extras that are just not to use. Compost right here in the soil. Just drop all that right back down in there. Definitely gonna have to cut back this elephant ear here. We'll just take that off. Take this leaf, finger off. We can take this finger off. I don't like taking hands unless I can take a finger at first. So we usually take fingers for quite a while until there's no fingers left and then top off. That gives us a lot of light for these lowers to keep growing, but also gives us those solar panels that we need. Push what we need down into the soil. The sugars and all that good shit. I appreciate it, Bearded Assassin. Thank you, sir. very fun. I enjoy it a lot. It's turned into more than I could ever imagine, to be honest with you. I mean, I knew I was gonna. Uh, I kind of pictured this in my head. I didn't realize it would happen so quickly. I thought it would take, at least 3 years, but you get the environment right, you get the right microbes, the right biology, know when to add what, game over. Got a constant water source. The microbes are in constant heaven, constantly breaking down nutrients in the soil. Like nothing takes a break. It's just never ending. There's no dry battle. I haven't watered the system, but look how wet the soil stays just underneath. That's how moist. I mean, everything just stays moist. It's wicking. So now the root systems have taken over and pulling that water in here. It's crazy how it stays moist just underneath the surface. And you probably can't see the springtails and well, I promise you that's what this is what we're looking for here. This is just the soil stays aerated all the time. Right around the root zone. Those guys are keeping us aerated. The roots from all this grass, once it roots into the topsoil, give us that aeration, but we just don't let it take over. That's the big thing. We gotta steward this. If not, it will take over. It will take over the whole fucking room. Like the monstera over there, it will take over everything. But that's where we come in. Like the algae in the creek. That's where we come in. We just gotta pull it out. We use our hand. We don't use any kind of chemical or anything to try and battle it. It's simply there to help us pull this nitrate out, pull this poo and all that biology that's trapped in this algae into the soil. It's going to feed our biology. It feeds worms. Everything that's in that algae is going to transfer through the worm guts, through the protozoas and all that crazy soil food web stuff. That if you know what I'm talking about, if you know the soil food web, you kind of have an idea what I'm talking about. If you don't, I highly encourage you to go look it up. Check out the soil food web, Dr. Elaine Ingham. Changed my life. Oops. And if you know anything about, if you have stomach issues, it solved my stomach issues. I'll put it to you this way. Like learning, it's crazy how it sounds, but learning soil biology taught me how to heal my gut. And that's the God honest truth. So it's the same process. Once I figured out that it's the same, we're all connected to this earth through this process. You feed the soil, you feed the soul, you feed the plants, you feed the plant, feeds you. We all came from the soil, and we're all going to go back to it. So that it's a cycle. So once we figure out the cycle and what's good and what's bad, we can extend life a little bit for ourselves, but we're not, nobody lives forever. Not yet, anyway. Maybe AI. But even they got to be lubed up, I'm sure. This is the biggest one in the room. Gonna be the monster of the grow for sure once she starts to stretch here in a few days. It will not take long. She is taking up this whole area over here. And when she flips, boy, she's gonna go. Looks pretty healthy. Everything in here looks really healthy. I'm expecting a good flower. I don't see any reason. I don't see any deficiencies at the point where I'm, you know, wasn't ready to flip. So, if I saw deficiencies in these plants, if I saw things that needed to be corrected, then we wouldn't be flipping. We would try and solve those issues in veg before we flip. Because once we flip, we're changing everything. Like today's day, we change. The lights go out at 5 o'clock. Everything changes for these plants. Uh, I haven't noticed a big difference in the pond. Um, the turtles don't seem to care. The fish doesn't seem to care. Everything, the shrimp, everything seems to do just fine, whether it's in 12-12, because 12 hours of light is still a lot of light. But it's just right on the verge. You know what I mean? Like very few places on the planet, like around here, like I might get 13 and a half, 14 hours of light in the middle of the summer. So I never get 18 hours, I know that. So I'm just going from a longer light. In my mind, I'm thinking about what the turtle and the fish are thinking about, and they're not really thinking about anything because it's kind of like a normal day to them. It's just the sun's going down a little bit sooner. They're not trying to mate. They're not trying to do it. It doesn't change their effect because this is an annual plant. It's only been a month. So I'm flipping that cycle in 2 months. 2.5 months. I'll be flipping it back. And in the turtle's mind, that's nothing to them. That time frame is nothing. So I'll basically be going from 18, 12, back to 12, 18, back and forth all year. It doesn't seem to affect anything other than flowering, like making the plants think that it's, time to reproduce. Winter's coming, if you're into that shit. The Monstera. What's up, Pooter? You've already eaten there, you fat bastard. Yeah, you ate today. You ain't fooling nobody. Can you believe I got him out of a out of a a bait and tackle shop down the street? He was a baby goldfish getting ready to be bass food for somebody, and I got bullhead minnows and one gold. The kid running the shop told me he was a bullhead minnow, and I was like, "That's no bullhead minnow. No way. That's a goldfish." What's up, Scooter? You already ate too. Yeah, the Monstera. I love it too, man. It's fucking awesome. It's the biggest one I've ever seen. Biggest one I've ever had, anyway. I mean, the camera doesn't do it justice. And then this one back here. My camera's zoomed all the way out, I think. Yeah, it's zoomed all the way out. The thing is monster. Then there's another one under that one. Yeah, it's going to be a handful. If you go back and look at the videos, that thing was way back there. I mean, now I've got it pulled back. If I hadn't pulled it back, it would be way over here. It would be laying on the lights, you see. It would be down into here. So it's taking up all that space. It's kind of crazy. It took me 10 months, right at 10 months to build.